Hello everyone, and welcome back to your favorite show for all things gaming and rarely tech-related, Gentoo. As always, we're your hosts, Kate Cox
and Chris Young. The first full week of April sees the release of a cult classic and a new entry in an iconic series.
First up is Oddworld Soulstorm. You reprise the role of Abe the Mudokon, accidental hero turned leader of a growing revolution. In it, you will explore massive cinematic scale and weird and wonderful 2.9D environments filled with breathtaking visuals. 2.9D lets you venture into the world. It creates greater scale and action while adding depth and immersion. Releasing April 6th for PC, PS4, and PS5.
Next up is Star Wars Republic Commando. In Republic Commando, you've got your trusty blaster rifle and your squad of elite clone troopers at your side. The game adds a tactical layer to the first-person shooter genre with squad commands. Sure, your squad mates can maintain formation and execute tactics on their own, but the key to success is directing your squad to victory. Releasing April 6th for PS4 and Nintendo Switch.
That's all for this week. These titles and many more will be releasing throughout the month, so keep your eyes peeled.
Next up is Cade with A Different Reality.
Yeah, it does. So we have to know Morse code? There's 5 seconds left. I can't learn Morse code in 5 seconds. No!
Welcome back everyone to a new episode of A Different Reality, where you have to listen to me talk about whatever VR game I'm playing this week. I'm Kate Cox, and this week's game is Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. Now, I only have 3 minutes to talk about this game before my computer blows up, so I'm gonna talk really fast. I'm just kidding. But that's the kind of stress this game comes with, and it's really addicting. Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes is a bomb defusal game that requires at least 2 players. The way the game works is that there is one person who is locked in a room with a literal ticking time bomb, in VR of course, and their job is to describe what they see to their partner. That partner is not in VR and can't see the bomb, but they have the defusal guide. So the person with the bomb has to describe the bomb to their partner the best they can so the person with the manual can instruct them on how to defuse the bomb before it goes off. As if that isn't complicated enough, there are so many different little puzzles you have to solve that the game calls modules. They range in difficulty from simple symbols you have to describe to some that require much more focus and communication. And this manual is not just a few pieces of paper stapled together, it's 23 pages of puzzles and pure confusion. There was so much thought that went into each one of these modules that they will always keep you on your toes, whether it's your 3rd try or your 30th. It's not just the modules themselves you need to worry about either. There are so many different components that go into solving them. Sometimes you may need to read the serial number, see how many batteries it has, the size of those batteries, or maybe even see what kind of cords can be plugged into the bomb, like plugging in an HDMI cable will just defuse it or something. In the main menu, there is a binder that you can use to choose your level. There is a brief description of what that level offers, as well as information about the bomb and how much time you will have. If none of those levels sound fun, you can pick up the free play suitcase where you can customize a level that fits what you're wanting. Now this game is super fun, and the rush of the constant ticking timer creates a very tense and adrenaline-inducing environment, even though the game looks a little more cartoony than realistic. This game is actually the only game that I've reviewed that isn't VR exclusive. When the game first launched in 2015, it wasn't just a VR game. You could play it using a mouse and keyboard or a controller. And even in 2021, with all the updates and upgrades the game has gotten, it is still only $15 on Steam. The quality of the product that you get for such a low price is unreal. You won't find a more unique and better done game for that price. A small detail that I really like in this game is the way the environment will mess with the person trying to defuse the bomb. There's an alarm clock on the desk that will go off from time to time, and the lights will just shut off sometimes, because that's fair. Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes is probably the most original game I've ever played. It takes the trope of the hero stuck with a bomb and has 3 minutes to defuse it, and creates an entire game around just that moment. There are endless possibilities with this game, and I will definitely be going back to blow myself up some more. I give Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes 9 out of 10.
Crucible, Amazon Games' MOBA-style Battle Royale title, takes center stage on this week's episode. And yes, this same Amazon that you can buy a bathrobe or car parts from also dabbles in game development, because why not? Crucible was set to be one of Amazon's feet in the door when it came to the gaming market, and sadly it failed on many levels, which is quite surprising considering that such a successful company like Amazon made this game. Now, if you've never heard of Crucible before, believe me, you're not alone. In fact, I totally forgot about this game's existence up until last week. This identity crisis of a title seemed to have no idea what direction it wanted to go, which overall would lead to its downfall. But before we delve further into its issues, let's take a look at what this game did right and give it the credit that it deserves. To start off, I want to compliment the development team that brainstormed such a bold and unique take on this kind of game genre, or technically genres. Having a mix of battle royale and MOBA elements gave something unexpected to the player base and drew in a good amount of excitement. Many players were eager to see how Amazon would bring these ideas to light and create something that would stand out among the copy and paste formats of the previously listed game genres. Another positive aspect of this title is in its character creativity. Now from the get-go, it's pretty clear that these designs were inspired by other hero-based shooters such as Overwatch and Paladins. But Crucible was able to make each of its hunters have a distinct look, theme, and feel to them, which provided multiple platforms for different playstyles. Lastly is the actual world building. The map designs of Crucible have an abundance of creativity, further immersing you into exploring its different and vast areas. However, this is where the game starts to show its flaws, and the further that one looks into its positives is where they start to notice a lot more of its negatives. Now, like I said, when looking at each positive element that Crucible had, it ends up revealing an even bigger negative. A good example of this is in its map design. Now, while large and full of creativity, the actual scope of the game modes themselves compared to the world that you play in were extremely uneven. Crucible would launch with 3 different game modes, going from team counts of only 2 players to its highest being only at 8. This would mean that you ended up running around these areas for way too long, only fighting the AI enemies littered throughout as opposed to fighting actual players in a game centered around team versus team combat. To add on to the droning gameplay, the actual amount of characters that were provided for play were criminally lacking. Compared to a game like Overwatch, which started out with 21 characters at launch, to Crucible with its measly 10, players were not exactly thrilled at the repetitive playstyles and games that they would encounter. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly to note, was that Crucible had no identity or idea of what it wanted to become. After just a few months since its release, the developers would end up cutting 2 out of the 3 primary game modes, and even end up pulling this game out of release and back into its closed beta state after its player count nosedived. This lack of direction halted any progress moving forward, which eventually would lead to Amazon Games shutting this title down and offering full refunds after just 7 months. Crucible had a grand yet general scope of what it wanted to be and released far too early with a severe lack of a plan. It showed us that no matter how creative something may be, if there's no roadmap to accompany its progress and evolution, then it's already failed before it even began. In the end, this title serves as yet another example to all game developers and cements itself in the history of botched game launches.
Well, here's those other 3.
Let's see what's in them.
Welcome back to Scrambled Secrets, where we show off the best hidden Easter eggs in video games. I'm video game enthusiast Austin Claypool, and today we'll be looking at Portal 2. Coming up on its 10th birthday, Portal 2 was first released by Valve back in April of 2011. This game is a puzzle platformer and it's all about thinking with portals. You play as Shell, a test subject woken from cryostasis to escape the underground laboratory known as Aperture Science. This is one of my all-time favorite games, so let's take a look at the top 5 Easter eggs in Portal 2.
Our first Easter egg today is a mini concert that can be found in the vents of Chamber 16. When first entering the level, there is a turret in the vent to your right. Using the redirection cube, reflect the laser to blow up the turret. This opens up the vents for you to explore. Inside you'll find a group of turrets practicing their singing. This is a nod to the end of the game when all the turrets take part in a gigantic concert. Oh yeah, spoiler alert. In Chapter 5, there's a reference to Back to the Future. While searching through the science fair projects, you can find a device that is oddly similar to the flux capacitor from the Back to the Future movies. This is what powers the time-traveling DeLorean, yet somehow a kid managed to power it with a mere potato. That's not the only Easter egg hidden among the science fair. Another Easter egg players might have missed is this monstrous-looking spud. The key to this Easter egg is the child behind this project is none other than Shell, aka you the player. This hidden Easter egg brings up more questions than answers. Is Shell a child of an Aperture Science member? Is she Cave Johnson's daughter, or has she been in the facility since she was young? This next Easter egg is a hidden portrait of Aperture Science CEO Cave Johnson. In Chapter 7, after the ramp puzzle, you can find a white portalable wall off in the distance behind a locked gate. In the hidden room you'll find the portrait, which also features a mysterious woman named Caroline. GLaDOS, who is now a potato, says that the two look very familiar. This woman has actually been confirmed as the origin for GLaDOS' AI. The final Easter egg today is what the Portal community calls rat holes. The name originating from Ratman, a scientist who worked at Aperture Labs before the events of Portal 1. Ratman left behind cryptic murals in hidden rooms throughout both games. One of the more interesting rat dens is in Chapter 2. By grabbing this radio and taking it to the rat den, accessed by placing a portal on this wall, you'll uncover a secret message and image. The radio's decoded message is an image of a companion cube on the moon. This is a reference to the ending of the game, where the player shoots a portal on the moon.
That's all I've got for this episode of Scrambled Secrets. Make sure to tune in next time for even more hidden Easter eggs you may have missed in your favorite video games. As always, I'm your host, Austin Claypool. Thanks for watching.
What is up, and welcome back to another episode of Monkey Plays, where Trenton and I try to survive Rust. Last week you guys saw us explore the newest update to Rust, where they added an underground train system, where we then rode around in the work carts and encountered the new NPC, Tunnel Dwellers. Today I'm going to be taking on Bradley, the tank that patrols around the Monument launch site. Trenton isn't here to assist me today, but I think I'll be able to handle him. But without further ado, welcome to Rust. What is Bradley? The Bradley APC, or Armor Personnel Carrier, is an NPC-controlled tank that monitors a monument called Launch Site. Launch Site is one of the toughest monuments in Rust, requiring the best radiation protection. It also even contains a red keycard door. Patrolling the roads around the rocket factory, Bradley will fire upon anyone it sees. Bradley has two modes of firepower, a machine gun and a large caliber cannon. The cannon fires at close and from far away, while the machine gun only fires within the close proximity. This NPC is currently one of the hardest enemies I have fought, even requiring me to bring a rocket launcher. How do we take down Bradley? Well, he has 1,000 health and can be killed in multiple different ways. The reason I brought a rocket launcher was because it was the most efficient way to take down the tank. To take down Bradley, I'll need 7 high-velocity rockets, which is only a respectable 1,400 sulfur. Not alone does the rocket have importance, but the ammo is what matters the most. When Bradley is finally finished, he explodes. Once destroyed, the tank bursts into flames, which will burn for several minutes. After the fire burns out, you'll find multiple high-value crates, in which you can find C4, rockets, guns, and ammo. Once you've looted the crates, you can mine the debris with a pickaxe to get some extra charcoal, metal fragments, and high-quality metal. Launch Site also has some elite military crates on the roof of the factory. There's a helipad which a destroyed helicopter is located. Around the helicopter, there are 2 elite crates and at least 3 other random crates. Tune in next week where Trenton and I take on the second keycard puzzle, where we travel to Train Yard. Train Yard contains access to a blue keycard door, which can be opened by completing various tasks for the puzzle. Thank you guys for watching. This week I fought Bradley, a tank that patrols around the Monument launch site. After I defeated him, I got some guns, ammo, and explosives. Now I'm headed home to deposit all of the loot. As always, have a good one, and we'll see you next week.
Welcome back to another episode of Hidden Gems in Gaming. After speeding through our last week's game, I found another game that offers that same excitement, but adds more of a story to the overall game that I know you would enjoy. This week's Hidden Gem is Enter the Gungeon. Enter the Gungeon is a gunfighting dungeon crawler following a band of misfits seeking to shoot, loot, dodge roll, and table flip their way to reaching the legendary Gungeon's ultimate treasure, a gun that can kill the past. This game brings the aspect of RNG to the game, with the floors you are on being layered completely random, and the weapons you get from unlocking the chest are completely random. So although skill is involved to getting to the last floor, luck will also need to be on your side for you to have the best chances. You start in the Breach, the main hub for you, with a shopkeeper and other various NPCs that you unlock by playing the game. There, you get to choose the character you want to try to escape the Gungeon with, each one offering their own starting weapons and abilities to assist you, and also goes with their character's backstory. Here you have the Convict, which she is equipped with a budget revolver and a sawed-off shotgun, and can use her Molotov to light enemies on fire, and with her passive ability of Enraging Photo, it allows her to become enraged whenever she takes damage, and can deal more damage and shoot faster and move faster for a period of time. Next we have the Hunter, which is equipped with a rusty sidearm and a crossbow, and then joined by her trusty companion, her dog, which can dig up and find health and other items as well as distract and hurt enemies. Next we're on to my personal favorite, the Marine, who is armed with just a Marine sidearm, but has a supply drop that can give you max ammo for one of your weapons, and with the military training ability, it allows him to shoot more accurately and much faster. Finally we have the Pilot, who is equipped with his Rogue Special and has the ability to pick locks on chests, and with his passive ability of Disarming Personality, it offers him a 15% discount on the shops whenever he's in the Gungeon. Although there are a total of 8 characters, we will only be looking at the starting 4, as the others take playing the game and certain secrets to unlock. Going down the elevator when you are ready, you must venture through 5 floors, each with their own boss to get to the final boss, the Dragon. Once you are ready, you can finally leave the Breach and enter the Gungeon. You are met with 5 total floors before you can get to the final boss, the Keep of the Lead Lord, the Gungeon proper, the Black Powder Mine, the Hollow, and finally, the Forge, which is one of the bigger chambers in this game, and really tests your strength before you can finally get to that final boss. With its release back in 2016 on Steam, and then on Switch and consoles in 2017, there were numerous updates that were added to add so much more to the game, like new characters, weapons, and NPCs. With a price tag of $15, I would say this is well worth the amount of gameplay you get. I mean, look at me. I have over 400 hours on this game, and I still come back and play it. Now, this game offers so much more than what I can talk about and pack into a 3-minute video, so the best advice I can give you is to just play this game. Trust me and play this game. Well, that's all for this week. Thank you for coming in and checking out this week's game. And you know where I'll be. Back at the mine, you know the deal. See you next week on our next Hidden Gem.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Project Delta. As always, I'm your host, and this week we have with us a very special guest.
I'm Craig Richard.
And today, a very special occasion as well, because it is actually the 6th year anniversary of Rainbow Six Siege this week, and here we are playing it 6 years later, and it's alive and well.
Still very much alive and well. They're still adding new content like every other month, it seems like, huh?
No, yeah, all the time. This new season just started, Crimson Heist, I think. I haven't actually played since it started, but I saw the trailer for it, and they've always got cool little trailers and promotionals for the new seasons.
Right.
So this game, 6 years ago, did you play it when it dropped?
I was a day oneer.
Yeah? Okay.
Yep.
I don't think I purchased it day one, but I remember playing the demo like a couple weeks before it came out. They had like a little demo or beta or something.
Right.
And I definitely was interested, and I picked it up shortly after, but I don't think I was day one, so.
Yeah, I've played this game since day one. I mean, I played it like religiously for like the first 3 years of its cycle, and then I kind of dove off. But I recently picked it back up when they released the new PS5 version.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. I mean, I think that's something they've always kind of made changes to, are the visuals. I could be wrong, but I swear that like I'd take a break from Siege for a while, and I'd come back and like the textures would look a little crispier or like just different. Maybe that was just me playing uglier games. I don't know. But
right, and that's the crazy thing about Ubisoft is how they've supported this game more than like any other game they've ever made.
No, it's the odd one out for Ubisoft, because you look at Assassin's Creed, they annualize it. It's every year up until, just recently they took a small break, but Far Cry, we're about to have the 6th one. Trying to think of what else. They like to churn games out. We've already got 3 Watch Dogs games, and we're sitting here 6 years later, and they're 59 operators, 20 maps, which I think there's even more.
Oh no, we gotta die!
Only got 20 in it at the time.
I got that down just in time.
You're playing a dangerous game here.
I am. I gotta get these castle things down, though. I haven't played this map since it came out, honestly. This is one of the maps I always, like, voted out.
Is this
So,
the biker club or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what it's called, but...
It's called Bar. Oh, did they redesign some of this? Because I don't remember this being one
That's
building.
the other thing. They've been changing the maps. Like, they'll pull them out of rotation for a bit, and then they'll put them back in, and yeah, there will be changes, because that is definitely all new. I've never seen any of that. I don't know how new, but...
Right. Oh, something just exploded over here. Oh!
Oh, wait. Maybe that's not new. No, it has to be.
Oh, I cussed. Whoops.
Language.
Oh, I
Craig,
got
you're a
that guy.
monster.
It's like, what is happening? Why doesn't this guy die? Oh, he got me.
So-
Kryptonite candy.
What do you think it is about Siege that has kept it going so long? Like, why do you think they treated this game differently? Is it because of the player base? Is it because they saw an opportunity for the game to be more than what they released it as? Like, what is it?
I think it's just because their player count has just always been there. Even though people have picked it up, stopped playing it, I don't think there's been ever a big decrease in player counts. They're like, why not just keep supporting it for 6 years if the player count is still there?
Yeah, and it keeps making them money, which they're clearly still showing love and support to it, but like, it's probably a lot cheaper than developing a whole new game with entirely new maps and...
Right. But there is a new Rainbow Six coming out very soon. I guess we're just waiting for a reveal trailer. There is a reveal trailer. I guess we're just waiting for an announcement on the date. But
is it the quarantine thing?
Yeah, it's called, it's Rainbow Six Quarantine, I think.
So I know they had it as like a mode on here, or like, what ended up becoming that full game now.
Right.
Did you ever play that mode?
I did play that mode.
How was it? Because I never got to check it out.
It was all right. I wasn't a big fan. I guess we'll see. I bet they're changing it a lot to fit a whole game, so
Yeah.
I bet it won't be the same exact thing as it was in this game, at least.
And I think that's been in development for a while now, hasn't it?
Yeah. Because that zombie or the quarantine thing came out, and I believe maybe like 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It was while we were in college, but it might have been freshman year for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So I said earlier, 20 seasons. This is the 21st season. 59 operators. 20 maps. Like, at what point, which I know they have the quarantine thing coming out, but at what point do they do Siege 2? Or do they never, and they just continue to update this?
I don't know, man. Take a good point of like CSGO on how long that game has been out and
For
how
a
they
long
keep
time.
supporting that constantly. I know they just came out with Valorant, which is a similar game, but I think it's going to be another 3 or 4 years till they'll at least maybe give up on making stuff and make a new one.
Yeah, and that's crazy. It'll, if I had to imagine, go down as Ubisoft's longest running title, like that receives support. It might be one of the. I'm trying to think of another competitive FPS that has been showered with this much content post-launch.
I would say there's only two games, and that is, as I mentioned, CSGO.
Okay.
And the other one would probably be League of Legends.
League of Legends, yep.
Maybe World of Warcraft as well. Had a third one in there.
And even all those, though, like, World of Warcraft's like an MMO, not usually the treatment that FPS competitive shooters get, I feel like. Which,
Right.
like you said, CSGO, that is a good example, because I remember playing Counter-Strike on the original Xbox, and then they revamped it into CSGO, and I played that on the 360, which I know Counter-Strike's like for the PC and stuff. I just, never had one, sorry. But, no, it's been around for years. Counter-Strike is older than me, probably.
Oh, I don't think it's that old.
It's close.
Came out. Oh,
It's close.
crap. This guy right here.
It might be 17 or 18. Not
walk through
not
this door,
CS:GO,
please.
but the original.
Hey, watch out, buddy.
Counter-Strike. Yeah, Craig. Honestly, when we get towards the end of this video, you should probably just team kill everybody right before we get off. Not yet. Not yet. Oh, that's an enemy. You're a monster, man. Headshot.
Ooh. I don't know. I shouldn't have gotten that kill, honestly.
El
But
Guapo. He stood no chance, El Cuh. What's up, Cuh?
Is there another one
I'm
in
sorry,
here?
I hate myself.
Nope. It's 5v2. Oh, they're friendly. They're team killing now.
So, you said you started playing again since you got your PS5 and they had the PS5 upgrade, or the next gen
Right.
upgrade. What are the biggest changes to you, or like most noticeable differences?
I would say the big difference is graphics. Like, this game looks like it would be a next-gen game when it came out 6 years ago now, which is insane on how much better they made it look.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. And even playing on this TV with all these bright lights in my eyes, I mean, it looks delicious. It's a great looking game. All the textures on the walls and stuff, that's what keeps getting me. Like, the environments look so good. All those cabinets, all the things filling them, oh, it looks
Right.
looks
and
pretty
having,
nice.
Having the higher frame rates on consoles now and stuff, like, makes this game even better.
Yep.
Because this is usually like a PC shooter kind of thing, because it's so much better with the high frame rate.
Yeah. Which
But-
I don't know what it ran on the original PS4, but I do know that I would have stutter, whether it was just my console kind of chugging along and slowing down or what, but I would definitely be getting drops on the game. And do you play in 120 FPS, or do you have a monitor for that?
Not yet, no.
No. See, I don't. I play in, just the normal 60, but it's still a game changer for me coming from the
Right.
PS4. The
I
base
want to get a
PS4.
120 monitor. There's just not as many console games that are supporting 120 yet. So I think in the next year, there'll be a lot more games that support 120 for console. It's just the developers haven't had a need to make it because they're still making it for PS4.
Yeah, that's
So.
fair. So, do you think Siege is the prime example of a game with legs then? And do you think other studios should take notes of this? Or do you think that, it's hard to pull it off well and be able to support your game this long?
I think it's hard to pull it off this long. Being able to support this game for this long, most games won't be able to do that. For an example, Call of Duty comes out with a new game every single year.
Yeah, and I loved Modern Warfare. I'm not huge on Black Ops Cold War, and I would have rather them continued to support Modern Warfare with the release of Cold War.
Yep, and then maybe it took 2 years to develop the next one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I just can't do it. The hit registration on Cold War is so bad. Like, it just feels like I'm playing an old game. I don't know.
Right. It just doesn't feel like a next-gen game on how
No.
it should.
The only thing I really like are the triggers. I do like the adaptive triggers.
I actually hate the adaptive triggers for multiplayer.
Really?
Yeah, if I'm playing like campaign or stuff, I will use the adaptive triggers all the time. What is this guy doing? It's just, it feels weird trying to play like competitively and you're messing with the triggers.
Yeah. See, I don't know, like, I kind of felt the same way at first. The longer I've used it, I love it. It feels a little dead in my hands if I don't have it now. Like,
Right.
But you're not the first person that's told me they've turned them off, so.
The one thing I love about this game though is like when you have like a 5-person squad, like this is the most fun you'll probably have playing a game.
Yeah, if you're playing like mic'd up with your friends. And,
Oh man,
yes.
that was a blast. It was more fun playing this than like playing Call of Duty. Like,
And this game's intense. Like,
oh yeah.
you get down into like the 1v3 or something, your heart will be racing.
I clutched a 1v5 yesterday in Siege, and everybody in the lobby was going crazy.
You're gonna
So
need to
funny.
see some of that right here, Craig. Let's get an ace before we have to end the show, because we are getting close to being out of time. You might just have to ace your whole team, you know what I'm saying?
Ace my whole team?
Yeah. All right, well, you went out on top as far as I'm concerned. So,
Oh yeah, definitely.
Craig,
Look,
I'd
there's
like...
the replay.
Yeah, oh, see, he was done. He was done. He got saved by the game, okay? So, man, you guys are, oh, there it is. All right, I was hoping the round would end, but we're gonna go ahead and end it. Thank you for coming on today. I appreciated having you on, Craig. I'm
Absolutely.
having some trouble speaking right now, but I'd like to say thank you to everybody at home for watching KNWT Channel 8. Tune in on Mondays, new episodes of Gentoo, and a bunch of other great content. So, yeah, catch you next time.